Hey, this is Daniel with Boss C351 Productions. Today we're going to continue our repair series on the 2001 through 2007 Dodge Grand Caravan. Today we're going to be replacing the front A-arms on the van. The bushings and the ball joint in the A-arms are worn out. This van has almost 130,000 miles on it. This is common for these vans, and I'm going to show you how to easily replace them and save you some money. If you watched the previous video, we replaced the front struts on the van. It was a pretty easy and simple task to change those out. Maybe 30 minutes you'll have them both changed. And then we're going to also, in later videos, we're going to change the front sway bar end links, which were worn out, as well as the sway bar mounting bushings and the power steering rack and pinion. We found that the bellows on the rack and pinion were torn, allowing dirt and grime into the rack and pinion and fluid out of the rack and pinion, causing an oily mess under the van. So let's get started on this. Now the next thing you're going to have to do overall, I want to put overall on the middle top and this switch. Well, I'll show you what it looks like. Tightened down, leveled, and installed. I think they look pretty darn good. Hello, I'm Daniel, and I want to rock the part. Work your way around. I have it set right now at 1080 out of the valve cover, and when it's all crap coming out, that's not worth paying the kind of money I did. Once you open your box, you're going to find that you have a brand new A-arm with a new ball joint and new bushings. Also, you will have in the package the ball joint nut, washer. You will have a cotter pin. You'll have a grease fitting. Make sure you have these parts. If you do not have these parts, you need to contact where you purchased the A-arm and obtain those parts. The next thing we're going to do is raise and secure our van off the ground so we can safely work under the van to change out the control arms. Never ever trust a floor jack to hold a vehicle up while you're working under it. It's dangerous, very unsafe, and the floor jack can fail at any moment. As you can see, I have two different sets of jack stands that I use when working on vehicles. I put the smaller ones towards the middle of the van, and I put the large ones towards the front of the van. You can also use the floor jack as an additional backup under the front motor mount of the van, just to be safe. Again, never ever work under a vehicle that's only held up using the floor jack. Next thing we're going to do after that is we're going to take the front wheels and tires off of the van so we can access the areas we need to change the lower control arms. Once you get the vehicle up off the ground, you need to look under it, and you will see that this has a brace bolted multiple places to the cradle of the front end. Now this brace strengthens the cradle with the body, so there's not a whole lot of movement while you're going down the road. This is one of the mounts here, but there are multiple bolts all across the front and back of it. Also attached over here is the power steering lines and power steering cooler right here. You'll have to unbolt those. Also up inside here, there's a couple of bolts you'll have to remove for this assembly right up here, and that is some kind of gas recirculation system. All you do is just pull the hoses off of it and unbolt it, and it'll come right out. So let's get that done. Now I'm under the vehicle to better show you what needs to be removed. This is one of the body mounts. On the other side, same thing, 21 millimeter. This is one of the brace bolts. On the other end of it is a nut. Both are 21 millimeter. These right here hold your A-arm in between the brace and in the cradle. Those are going to be 15 millimeter. Here's some more 21 millimeter bolts. Those are 21 millimeter with nuts on the other side as well. Your power steering hose, that's going to be 13. These are going to be 10. That's going to be 13 right here. It's a bracket that holds it there. Also, your power steering cooler, that's the bolts that hold it on. You also have some here and one right here. Those are going to be 10. So let's go ahead and get those all out, and then we can drop the cradle down and see what else we have. And of course, one oddball size of the bunch. This bolt and only this bolt and nut are 18 millimeters. And guys, I highly suggest get you one of these Cobalt 3/8 impacts. This sucker is badass compared to like DeWalt or these other name brands. Get you one. It's only 99 bucks. And now the last one. Okay, the cradle brace is out. And we're also going to take loose this nut to get this tie rod out of the spindle. Now to get the lower ball joint loose, there is a slight pitfall here. Now if you try to put your wrench in here and you actually get it in there and start loosening the nut off, the nut raises up and you can't get your wrench back out. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to loosen this off with the box end part of the wrench. You'll have to take it completely out with the box end portion of the wrench. Once you get it up the top, then you're going to have to give the lower A-arm a lick with the hammer to get it to loosen up so it will drop down enough you can get the nut off. So the nut won't come out. Now just lower the A-arm down a little to get your nut out. Sometimes it'll fall all the way down, sometimes it won't, but it's loose. Now all we have left is this bolt to take out to get the A-arm out. But what I like to do is pry the other side of the A-arm out of the cradle. That way it'll loosen it up for us so it'll rotate. Now we just got to take the bolt out. We're going to go in and loosen the nut off. Probably going to have to get a second wrench as a backup. Now the bolt's turning. Now here's the second pitfall. As you can see, the bolt is about to hit the transmission, and it will not come out because it's right up against the transmission. So what do? To fix this problem, we're going to have to take loose this cradle bolt right here. That way we'll be able to shift the cradle over slightly and we'll be able to get that bolt out. See, it's shifted just enough, we'll be able to move it, get the cradle over enough to get that bolt out. It's a little tricky, but it will come out. And there it is. You can just take your A-arm out. Hope you found my video useful. And remember, look in the comment section for deep discounts on these parts that I installed in this video today. Also, I've listed the tools that you will need to change the lower A-arm, as well as other assorted tools that will help you out changing and repairing things on your 2001 through 2007 Dodge and Caravan. Again, this is Daniel with Boss C351 Productions. Thank you for watching my videos.